Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine news video. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop us a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, with this being a news video, I do want to go through a little bit of news with you guys, of course, evidently, and I want your comments back from this. So, please, by all means, drop comments down below. I love hearing about from you guys. I do try to get back to everybody as soon as I can. And this is exactly what you guys should want to comment on. So, first of all, we have an email to read, and it goes as such. Dear customer, first of all, we would like to thank you for collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer. We hope you have as much pleasure collecting it as we have creating it. Since the launch of the collection, we have been committed to bringing you the highest quality products. However, the cost increases that we have been experiencing for months, in particular in raw materials and transport costs, are forcing us to adjust our selling prices. This was a difficult decision to make, but we have to increase the price for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer to £9.99 from issue 47. The premium subscription continues to cost £2 extra per issue, so this will go up to £11.99 from issue 47. This allows us to maintain the best suppliers and upkeep the quality of our products and service. Of course, you are free to cancel your subscription by contacting the customer service team at any time by giving 28 days notice. We thank you for your understanding and loyalty. Now, obviously a price increase is never the best thing. However, do I kind of agree that they probably could have increased the price earlier. They could have started it at $9.99. Obviously, it would have turned people away, but it still would have been okay with me, personally. I mean, for $9.99, you are getting a bargain in the majority of cases. Obviously, the only time you do not get a bargain with a $9.99 issue is for paint issues, where, in all honesty, you're kind of getting ripped off for them because paint isn't worth as much as the minis. So when they generally give us 2 pots of paint, they cost about £8. We're paying $8.99 already. When you're paying $9.99, they're slapping on the kind of a paper tax essentially, and putting your cost upon them paints by an extra £1.50, for instance, which isn't the greatest. It's a bit crappy, but it is what it is. Now, obviously, the cost of the magazine overall, compared to buying all the minis on their own, does balance out quite nicely, and so you are getting a bargain overall still. It's just not as heavy a bargain. So, not a lot to it. Now, changing it halfway through, I do have some misgivings over that. I don't blame them for doing it. However, it would have been nicer if they just put the price at $9.99 at the very beginning of the magazine's run, because then they're anticipating any price increases instead of reacting to price increases beforehand. They're predicting it, which is the way I personally see things. It's the same when, for instance, the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5s both had price increases. Both companies, Microsoft and Sony, should have known that there will be price increases later on, so they should have just brought it out instead of increasing the price over, nearly 2 years into a console's life cycle. They could have done it earlier and not put the consumer off. Now, obviously, some things are unobtainable and unknown that these things are going to be an issue. For instance, a cost of living crisis. We are in one here in the UK at the moment. The majority of the world is also struggling, and yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, everything is going up. The cost of energy is going up. The cost of raw materials in terms of plastics, paper, ink and such like that have actually increased over time, and will probably continue to do so. And the other thing is, transport costs are also an issue. My one thing though is there is a slight difference with price increases from a magazine that is supplying a product to a price increase that GW, for instance, has. GW, from what I was told, once in the past make on average around about the 50% kind of mark on their products, because they design everything in-house and they mass produce it all in-house, and they have a lot of cheap parts. Whether that's true nowadays, I don't actually know, but they used to have a pretty decent markup on their products, so they had quite a decent amount of profit on each item they sold. And I imagine this magazine is kind of victim to a little bit of that. I can imagine, as good old GW have increased their prices for third-party retailers, that they have also probably increased the price for Hatchet Part Works. I can imagine that they've gone, yeah, we're increasing the price of this, so you need to sell it for more, or you're going to take a bigger loss. The other thing that I want to actually say though is they want to upkeep the quality of their products and service. It's not necessarily their product as to in truth. In parts it is, because they designed the magazine, they designed the layout and everything like that. However, they're using excerpts from what GW have already provided. But the other thing is, their service is terrible. Their service has no real quality. I mean, I've been missing items in ones and stuff like that. I've been missing a paint pot in a sealed product, and their whole reaction was, yeah, take it back to where you bought it and get a refund. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. Why are you taking away from small independents when it's your issue, it's your packaging fault? You should have done this. You should have had a quality control at the very end of the line that says, this is missing something here, isn't it? So what's it missing? But they didn't. So their service isn't the best quality anyway, so why would they want to have that? Because, you know, their quality is, yeah, at times terrible for service. So it is what it is. Now, obviously there are a few negative comments already on Facebook for it, and we'll kind of address a few of them. So obviously there are people that saying this is not a good look in the middle of a subscription. Yeah, generally is. Yeah, it's not the greatest look, but you know, it happens at the end of the day. It's a reactionary increase and not a predictive increase, and it is what it is. There are people that are very kind of more like, yeah, it's £1, doesn't matter. And then there are people that are just like, yeah, it's not the best, but everything has gone up, so it's not really a surprise, and much more. There are a few people that are like, oh, this is a bit of a liberty and everything like that, and yeah, I agree with you. However, everything is going up, nothing is set in stone, and in the terms and conditions of pretty much anything you buy, there isn't always an option to increase price, because that's the way it works. Right, that's it from me. I am going to leave it there. I'm not going to say too much more because I end up going round in circles, and this is like the 5th time I've tried to record this video, so let's not bother. So anyway, I'll leave it down to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this price increase, whether you're for it, whether you're against it, whether you don't give a monkeys. Entirely up to you. But obviously, please remain respectful in the comments. Everybody has a valid opinion and is entitled to their opinion, and that is the same here. You can say whether you're for something, you can say whether you're against something. It doesn't matter. Just remain, kind of keep it as a discussion and not an argument. It's the best way of putting it. But other than that, thank you very much for watching this video. There will be some more content coming up in the channel at some point. There's paint videos in the works. There are some speculation videos. There are some other bits and pieces still to come, and of course the regular week videos, providing that the magazines turn up on time, which is generally the biggest sore point with this collection. But yeah, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.